PTA. I'm Dave Powell, and I'd like to start by introducing some distinguished guests. I'd like to introduce Sandy Mezzanani with Council PTA, Faith Walagora with HB Council PTA. I'd also like to thank Randy Belcher for offering off this space for us to use this evening. Our moderator this evening for this program is Georgia Kidwell with the Texas League of Voters, Women Voters, sorry. Our panelists this evening, State Representative Todd Smith, it's an honor to have him, Pat Hardy of the State Board of Education, and Dr. Faye Ballou of the HB School Board. I'd like to go ahead and get this evening started. Ms. Danielle, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Everyone, please stand.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now I ask that you turn and join us in the honor of Texas flag.
On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Georgia.
Welcome to our program, Texas Talks Education. I am Georgia Kidwell with the Tarrant County League of Women Voters. The program tonight is entitled, Where Texas Is Now and Where Is It Going? We have a very knowledgeable panel tonight who will discuss this topic. Our format for this evening will be as follows. Each speaker will be given 10 minutes to give an opening statement and their view on this topic. Following that, the program will be open to written questions. The questions should be addressed to all three speakers. Each speaker will be given 2 minutes to respond. Faith Walagora in the front row will be our timekeeper. She will signal with a yellow card 30 seconds before your time is up and with a red card when your time is up. There are paper and pencils available at the back of the room. If you raise your hand, someone will bring them to you or pick up your questions. So let us start with our first speaker, Dr. Faye Ballou, who is a member of the HEB School Trustees. Faye?
Thank you, Georgia. Thank you for the opportunity to be with you tonight. I want to just tell you education. I'll use the microphone. Sorry, I thought I could use my teacher voice and that would work. My name is Faye Ballou. I want to just begin tonight by telling you that education probably saved my life. I grew up in rural Mississippi, and we lived in an economic climate that was not what you would hope for if you were envisioning what you would like your children to grow up in. It was a very poor part of the state, and my mom and dad did the best they could, but I knew there was no way I was going to college if that was going to depend on my own resources. When I was a senior, a lady to whom I credit any success that I have had professionally came to me and said, we've got the results of your ACT scores, and you have amazing potential. We are going to work on some scholarships. Now, I'm going to date myself here because I got one of those scholarships and it paid for my entire BA degree. The amount of that scholarship was $3,000. And I went to a 4-year public university in Mississippi. So times have changed a lot, but the hearts of people who care about students have not changed. we still have teachers who are doing those kinds of things to kids today. And it just makes all the difference in an individual's life. After my first degree at what was then Mississippi State College for Women, I went and stayed there and completed my master's, and then moved on to Ole Miss to get my PhD, also in English. While I was there, it was my privilege to teach freshman composition and British Lit. I hope my students had fun. I had a blast. Again, learning about the rapport between students and teachers, learning how education can unlock doors for kids, how when their minds experience critical reasoning and they take a piece of literature and unlock it and begin to think about the human condition and learn to reason from that, it's just a beautiful thing. I treasure the fact that I had the time to experience that. I left Mississippi, moved to Texas, got married, and my husband and I began to have our family. At that time, I decided, we made the joint decision that if we were going to have these kiddos, we were going to live on his income, which was not fabulous, but was adequate. And I would stay home with the little guys. We did this. We raised 3 daughters and a son. They are all proud products of HEB and are graduates of Trinity High School, successful in their own unique ways. My oldest daughter is teaching and performing music in Germany. She put herself through college on Horn Scholarship. Stephen F. Austin is a wonderful school if you're bent musically. My second daughter and my youngest, one graduated from Texas Tech, the other is now there as a junior. And my son graduated from the Air Force Academy. He's currently, as I told somebody, crawling through the woods in Montgomery, Alabama behind Maxwell Air Force Base in survival training as a part of his pilot training he has to complete. But I tell you all this to tell you that your parents, I'm a parent, I understand your concerns that your kids get the best education possible so that it can prepare them to graduate ready to earn, whether that's earning a career in a living in the workforce, or whether that's going on to earn a college degree. And you want them as prepared as possible. We have a lot of challenges in the education world in preparing youngsters these days to get to that point. We have kids that show up at school that don't know what red is and don't know which hand to hold a pair of scissors in because they haven't had the access to the kind of experiential development that a lot of us have been able to give our kiddos. But we have the same responsibility to those kids that we do the kids that aren't prepared, because we want them by the time they're going into 3rd and 4th grade, reading on grade level, we want them graduating, ready to move on with their life and be productive citizens. I care about all this very deeply. I've served you locally here because you've consented to return me to that position for 15 years now. I enjoy it. I appreciate the responsibility that you've entrusted me with both your children and your dollars, because the financial responsibility is another piece of it that's extremely important. I serve on, represent you in a number of different ways, not just here locally, but I am a member of the Texas Association of School Boards Board of Directors, and as of this past year, an officer in that organization. So I have the opportunity to take your needs and your concerns to other levels, and I do appreciate that, and I take that opportunity very seriously. I want to make one little caveat, one little disclaimer tonight. I want you to remember, as we head into these questions that express concerns that you have, that I am an expert in the matter of children. I am not an expert